Hello, welcome to Just Prime. As part of this video, we are going to understand some of the methods which is available inside the string class. So we are going to discuss around 17 methods which is already predefined inside the string class and how we are going to use that methods with an example so that we are going to see it. So before going to see these methods, I just will go back to some of the previous videos what we have discussed it. So as for the previous class, we have discussed about the string, like string is a non-primitive data type and it's a predefined class which is available inside our JDK or Java, so that we are going to use it. And also we discussed about how we are going to create an object as per the previous videos, like we are going to use new operator, or we can assign the string literal directly to the string object. So there are some of the ways we see in it, and so how the object is created. So now we are going to see what are the methods are available inside the string class. So now we have already know how to create an object. Now we are going to see what are the methods are available inside the string object and how we are going to use it, and what is the purpose of that methods, how we are going to use it, so that we are going to see it. So we are going to see all those things with examples. So I'm going to create a simple example and then we are going to see all these methods one by one and that usage. So for that, let me create a simple Java class. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a simple Java class called string methods. Okay, this is a simple class I created, string methods, and this is the default method which is generated. Okay. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to take a simple way to create an object. String s equal to just prime. So this is one of the simple way to create an object by using the string literal. So this is a simple way to create an object, right? So we have seen this one, how to create an object different ways, like new operator, or by using a simple string literal you can assign it and the object will be created. That's fine. So that we are not going to discuss about more how to create an object. So our main intention is we have object is ready. So what are the methods are available? So how we are going to use that method? So that's what we are going to see it. So the first method we are going to see is length. So we have a string, and the string is a non-primitive data type and it's inbuilt class, and like I said, the string also class, and every class is a subclass of object class. So let me expand this one. If you see here, right, string is a class and it is a subclass of object. So how you know the subclass, right? We have many other classes we can see over here. You can take anything. So that is subclass of this interface, right? So every class is a subclass of object class, though we are not seeing here, but it's indirectly extends object class. So that's what we are not going to see it, but so there's the way the class is defined. Every class is subclass of object class. So now come back to our own class. So so there's a way this class is defined. So now we are going to see how we are going to use the inbuilt method called length. So what it going to return it. So if you know, if you want to see the methods are available, and if you want to see the how the length method will signature will be there, you can just s dot length, s dot space, you can do control space bar and you will get to know the methods length. See here, so there is a length method is available and it's not taking any argument, it's going to return a integer. So that's it. So what is the advantage of L? So basically this int method will calculate how many number of characters are available inside the string object string literal. If you see here, right, so this is a 4 5 around 10 characters, right? So if you want to print the value, so you can print it. So this is the way you can able to count the, it's more than 10, or I'm just guessing 10, but let it count the API, the length method, and it will return the number of characters. Then we are going to print it. So the length method is mainly useful if you want to know how many number of characters are available inside your string content. So now let me run it. Yes, we can see here 10. So this is the main advantage of length method, right? So now let me comment it out. So the now we are going to see another method called isEmpty. So what is the purpose of isEmpty? So basically, see, currently you can see here, right? So the string is having some content. Sorry, the object is having some content. We, in case if the content is coming from different place or dynamically, so if you want to know whether the content is really empty or non-empty, so how you know, how we get to know? So that we are going to use it with the help of empty method. So s dot empty, and what it's going to return? Boolean. So if the content is empty, it will return true. If the content is not empty, then it will return false. So basically the return type is Boolean. So let me take is empty. So can press colon. So basically the in current case this is very simple and we have some content, so it's not an empty. So we can expect here the output is false. So let me run this one. See here it's giving a false. Say for instance if the content is empty, what will happen? So now here you can see clearly that content is empty, right? So it's giving true. So that is the main purpose of this empty. So basically it will try to give whether the really object having some content or it don't have any content. So if you want to have that kind of scenario, you can use this method. So next method we are going to see trim method. So this is very important method. So whenever we are working for any project, so these methods will be useful, this trim method especially. So what is this trim method? Now s dot trim. Yes, this is the method. So what it will do, so if for instance we have a string here, right? Say for instance if there is any padding characters over here, additional space, either prefix or postfix additional space, so this will be removed by using the trim method, right? So once remove it, after that it will return the string back to us. So the return type is string here. So let me take s new. So basically here it will try to sn. Okay, so basically it will try to remove the prefix and postfix additional spaces, and it will give the exactly content. So that we are going to see it once after printing the value. So if you see here, right, so here we have additional spaces. So now let me run it. So we need to print here. See here what is happening here. Yeah, I just print the value directly. So here additional space is coming, but the trim value is stored in sn. So we need to print the sn value. Now let me run it again so that we can see the, see here. So the trim function is applied on the content and it removed all the spaces, prefix and postfix. We don't see any additional spaces. So this is one of the advantage of trim method. So basically it will try to remove the prefix and postfix additional spaces, and it will give the content back to us. If there is any additional space is there in between, it won't remove anything. It will preserve as it is. Let me run again. See here. So it got removed prefix and postfix, but in between if there is any additional space, it won't remove anything. So this is very important point. You need to understand it. Okay. So that's about the trim method. Now let me go back to some other method. Now we are going to discuss another method called uppercase. Say for instance, if you see here, right? So let me remove additional spaces. Yes. So if you see here, it is just frame. So here I could see uppercase and lowercase. If there is a requirement, you need to convert all these characters to lowercase or all these characters to uppercase. How we are going to do? How we are going to do it? So that we are going to do it with the help of two lowercase or two uppercase very easily. So how we are going to use that method? You can press Control space bar. You can press two lowercase. So first I'm going to select two lowercase. So here I can see uppercase, lowercase. I can see mix both uppercase and lowercase. So once I apply this method, what it will do? It will convert the entire string characters into everything into lowercase. Then it will return to us. So and then you can use it. Now let me run it. See here. Now all the characters it converted into lowercase, right? So this is one of the advantage of two lowercase. Okay. So now let me take another method called uppercase. So now consider here we have uppercase and lowercase. Now the requirement is if you want to convert all these characters upper lower to lower, everything should be uppercase. So you can use very simple method. Next one is to uppercase. So simple. So to uppercase, what it will do, it will convert each and every character to uppercase and it will give the string to us so that we can use it. So that's the main purpose of uppercase. If you have any requirement to want to convert all the characters to uppercase, you can use to uppercase method, right? So this is the uppercase method. So now we will see another method called substring. So what is the use of substring? Say for instance, now we have a string. So in the string, I want only this particular portion of the string. So the string is contain the characters and the characters having a specific indexes, the index will start from 0. So now I want to take a portion of string from first character. 0th character I don't want, Z I don't want, but I am interested only in first character to end. So how can I take it? So that you can take it with the help of substring. So substring have different arguments. You can pass one index or you can pass two indexes. So for now, first we are going to see simple one index. So like I said, right? So I want to take content of the string only from first index, not zero index. I don't want a Z. I want from est prime. So how can I take it? So the G index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have to pass the index from where you want to start. So I want to start from first index. I don't want a 0 index. So I need output like this, only this particular portion. So let me run it. It's very simple. If you want to take a portion of the string, so you can use substring method. See here, Z is removed and remaining string part it returned. So this is one of the advantage of substring. Say for instance, I want to take string from first index to till t. I don't want remaining portion. So how we are going to take it? So this is very important point. The starting index is 1 and the ending index is 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to pass one more additional index number. So that will be excluded 4. So basically it will try to take 1, 2, 3. So fourth character will be excluded. So let me run it and show you, then we will understand very easily. Yes, if you see here, right? So 1 is included, 2 is included, 3 is included. The fourth one is a space, it got removed. So it won't take. So the last index will be excluded. The first index what you are mentioning here, that too till last before 1. So this is the very important point you need to understand it. Substring, whether you can pass one argument or you can pass two arguments. If you pass the two arguments, the last before one will be excluded. So this is one of the very important method, substring. So now let me take another method which is called replace. Let me, yes. So say for instance you have a requirement to replace all e's with x or all t's with some other character. So how we are going to do it? So this is a very simple one, 10 characters, easily we can replace it. But if we have a text 100 characters, so how we are going to do it? If you want to replace one character two with some other thing, so how we are going to do it? So that we are going to do it very easily with the help of replace. So again, replace is basically we have three different types of methods: replace with single character, and replace with sequence character, or replace with all character. So basically first we are going to see a character. So I want to replace one character with another character. So for that we can use what character you want to replace with what. So the first one, I want to replace e with what? I want to replace to x. So basically I want to replace e with x. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Yes, so the requirement is here, I want to replace e with x. So I can do it very easily with the help of replace method. See here. So the x got replaced with e got replaced with x in two places. So this is one of the method which will take only character as the inputs or the arguments. So now we are going to see another method called replace first. See here. So replace first. See, as for the previous example, so the replace, what it will do, it will try to replace everything. It will try to replace everything, whatever the matching is available from starting index to till ending index. But we don't want to do it. So our requirement is just replace the first matching character or string with the replaced one. What we are going to mentioning, only the first matching one. The remaining will be ignored. Now, what I want to do? So the parameters here, it is string, not a character. So I want to replace e with x. Only the first occurrence, the remaining occurrence will be ignored. So that is the basic difference, major difference between replace and replace first. So let me run it. See here. So the e is basically in two places, but the replacement happened only for the first occurrence. So this is one of the very important methods which frequently we can use in our project development, right? So this is the way you can use the replace method. If you want to replace a particular character with some other char, you can use it. Or if you want to replace a only first occurrence, then you can use replace first. So it will replace everything, all matchings, but it will replace here only first occurrence. Now we are going to see another method. See here. So there is a content is there. So I want to know whether this content is starting with a particular word, just. I want to know whether this particular string is starting with just or something else, or prime, starting with prime or it's starting with just. What is the starting character or word of this particular string content? So if you want to know that particular scenario, you can use starts with. It's very simple. If you want to know the starting word or frame of a string, then you can use start with. It's a very simple one. Just copy as it is. So here we are going to get output as a boolean, because whether it's matching the starting content is true or false, right? What you are going to give it. So then we are going to expect as a boolean flag. So I want to check just, it's very simple one, right? So whether the string object is starting with a just or not, right? So you will get here boolean, simple one. So what this method will do, whether this particular object content are starting with a just or not, right? So that's what we want to know. Let me run it, but it's very simple one, it's already starting with a just, so we can expect true. Now let me give something else, abc. So now let me check whether this particular content is starting with abc or not. Let me run it. So we can see here it's a false, that means this string is not starting with abc, right? So this is the way you can use this particular method if you want to know whether the starting characters of a string objects. So the next one, now we can see the starting character checking. Now if I want to know the ending pattern, ending characters, so how we are going to check it? So for that you can use another method called endsWith. It's the same, but it will check with ends one. So now I want to check whether this particular string is ending with prime or not. So a simple one, it will check only the ending portion. So this portion it will check. So in this case it's very simple and straightforward, it's ending with prime, so we got a results true. Let me add some other things. So definitely it's not ending with these characters, so we can expect false. Yes, we are getting false. So this is the one of the advantage of starts with or ends with. If you want to know the starting characters, if you want to check, or ending characters if you want to check, then you can use the starts with or ends with. Now the next method we are going to see, charAt. So before going to this method, like I said, string is having a bunch of characters and these characters will start indexing from 0, right? So z will start 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 like that. So now it's a simple text, it's having 10 characters, right? So if you ask quickly, so what is the first characters, first index char, you can say easily e, second index char s. But if the string content is 100 characters, so how we are going to find it if there is a requirement? So in that particular case, if you want to find out a particular index char, so then you can use charAt function. CharAt, then you have to pass the input as index position. The index will start string from 0. CharAt. So what it will return? If you want to know the return type, just press control space. So like I said, right, so it's index you're passing, index having only one char. So you will expect here char. So here you need to pass the index, it's an integer number. So you can pass here 1. So here if you see this text or a string, it's a 1 0 1 2 3 4. So in first index position we have a e. So now let me run it and we can see the output. Yes, we are getting e as an output. So in case of first index we can see e. If you want to see the fourth index, we will expect here space. So here this is the fourth index, it's a blank or space. So we are not seeing anything, but still there is a blank space is there. So that is the advantage of charAt function. If you want to find out what char is staying in a particular position or index position, then you can use this charAt and it's going to return a char. So this is also very important function, very important method, we are going to use it. So now the reverse, if I want to know the index position of this T, or if I want to know the index position of P, how I'm going to get it? So that's another method we are going to use it. IndexOf, right? So this is also very important method which we are going to use it in our project development. So the usage is reverse what we have used it before. So here we know the character, but we are trying to find out the index number. So index of, now I know the character. I know the character is T, but I want to find out the corresponding index position. So I know the character T, but I want to find out the position. So when you are asking for index or position, so the return type is here integer. So you're passing char and you're trying to find out the location or index or position. So you will get here int. So it's a reverse. So previously we are trying to pass the index and we are trying to get the character, but now we are trying to pass the character and we are trying to get the corresponding position, right? So now let me run it and we can see the index position of T. So we can see here. So basically 3 we are getting, right? So that's what we can see here, 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is the way you can pass the character and you can able to get the corresponding index position of this particular char in a given string. Say for instance, if you take this example, so if you t here, simple example, so E is there in two places, right? In the starting one E is there, also there is another E is there. So if you pass just E, what position it will return? So now let me run it. So E is there in two places, first index and this is somewhere 9, right? So what is returning if we have more than one character matching? So then it will return by default the first matching index position, right? First matching index position. So the remaining it will ignore it. Say for instance, if you have a requirement to find out the last matching one, so how we are going to find out? So for that purpose, you can use another method called lastIndexOf. So it will try to find out the which is the last index if it is matching, if we have more than one. Last, or if you have more than one, it will try to give the last one. If you have only one, then it will try to give the first one. That's it, simple one. So in this case we have a t is there in two places, in the first word one time and the second word one more time. So basically it will try to give the last character index. So now let me run this one. So basically we are getting the 10th index. So the index for E is 10, right? So basically the last index will give the last matching char. In case if there is no more than one time, then it will try to give the matching one. Let me check this one, M. So M is there only one time, right? So you will get now in this case 9. It's very simple. We have only one time. If there is more than one time, then it will try to find out the last one and it will try to give the corresponding index or position to us. So that's about the last index. Now another method, and it's very important method, right? We are going to use it. We are going to discuss it now. So equals method. So the equals method, what it will do? So as part of this string, right? So we have a string object and we have a string content over here, right? So let me declare another content s2, just, only just. So we have a two objects here, s just prime content and s2 just, right? So if I want to know whether s and s1 objects having same content or not, how can I find out? This is a very simple one. I can say both are different. But if the content is or inputs is coming dynamically somewhere else, so how we are going to identify it? So in that case, we are going to use equals method. So equals method will try to compare two objects and it will try to compare two objects and whether it will say finally whether the content is equal or not. If it is equal, you will get a true. If it is not equal, you will get a false. So let me take first object equals. So I'm trying to compare S content with what? Another object S2, right? You can pass another object here, or if you don't have object, you can type here like this also. First, let me try simple one. So what it will do, it will try to compare the just prime with S object content, and it will return for us Boolean flag. So in this case, it's very simple. So S is having just prime, and I am also giving just prime. Both are equal, so I can expect here true. So this method is very important one when you are working for any. So basically in this case we got here false because here there is additional space is there. So let me remove it. Additional space. Now let me rerun the program again. Let me see it. Yes. So it's giving true because it will check each and every character what we are trying to pass here with this object content. If it is same content, then you will get a true, else you will get a false. So now let me add some one more character additional. So in this case, prime second word is not matching. So definitely I will expect now false. So false. So this is one of the use case. Equals method is mainly useful if you want to compare two strings object content. So then you can use equals method. It will try to compare only content. So if you have a string literal, directly you can pass this. In case if you don't have a string literal, or if it comes some other source or input, then you can pass that object also. So in this case now I'm trying to compare S with S2. So now let me run this program, and now here we are getting false because just is one word and here just from two words. So definitely it's not matching. So we can expect false. So this is one of the very important method which we can use it to compare two string objects content. Okay, now the last method we are trying to use it. So this is the another extension of the equals method. Say for instance, now equals method which will try to compare each and every character with the source one, right? It should match even case sensitive as well. If Z is there capital, it should expect capital. E is lowercase, it will expect lowercase. Then only you will get true. In case if you don't want to, if you want to ignore the case sense, right? How we are going to do it? Say for instance here, just you can take just here. So in this case sensitive, in this case you will get here true. So equals method, it's a case sensitive. It will try to compare each and every character, and it will expect same case sensitive. It's uppercase or lowercase, it will expect in the same. Then only you will get true, else you will get a false. Say for instance, if z is small, then what it will give? Equals method will give false because here we have a lowercase and here we have uppercase. So it's not matching. But if you have a requirement saying that you have to ignore the case sensitive, so how we are going to do that? So that we can do with the help of another method called equals ignore case. So simple, the method name is different, but it will behave differently. It won't consider any case sensitive. It won't consider same case. It will try to compare the content, but it will ignore the case sensitive. It will ignore the case sense. So that is the basic difference between the equals and equals ignore case. It will ignore the case sensitive. Now let me run it. So in this case we can expect true output. See here, though here z is lowercase, z is uppercase, but here it will try to check the, it will ignore the case sensitive. So that's what we are expecting here, true. So we got a true. So there's a basic difference between equals and equals ignore case. So this is also one of the very important method when you are going to use it when you are building or when you are working for a project. I think these are the some of the very important methods which we are going to use it when you are working for any project in a real time. And another important point I want to highlight here. Say for instance, so every time I'm referring here SS, right? Say for instance, we don't know S is having a really object or it's pointing to some other null object, right? Say for instance, if this object is null, what will happen? I'm directly hitting the or directly calling the s dot. So what will happen here? So it will throw an exception called null pointer exception. So it's very important point. It's very important point we have to consider whenever you are dealing with or whenever you are calling a method from the string object. So you have to take care. You have to check first whether it's a null or not null. So how we are going to check that one? If yes should not equal to null. So if s not equal to null, then you can call the methods, right? So this is very important very important point. So you should not call the methods directly in string object. In case if the object is null, so you will get a null point exception. So if you check this not null check, then this methods will not be called on null object. So you will not expect any null point exception. I think this we have already discussed in exception handling, but still I just want to highlight it. So make sure whenever you are trying to call any methods inside the string method, you have to check it should not be null. Then only you can call the all the methods whatever we discussed in the above, else you will get a null point exception. So in this case, if you check a null, then your program will execute, but you will not get any output and you will not get any null point exception. So this is safe. So your program is running successfully without throwing any exception. So in this case we are not getting any output, but still you can pass here to the end user to give more sense. Object is null, so that end user knows why he's not getting any output. So object is null. If object is not null, then you will get a value. So this is a very important point we have to consider whenever you are dealing with string objects. So make sure you have to check the not null condition. If it is not null, then you can call all the methods what we discussed above, else you will get a null point exception. So this is very important point. So your program will fail or terminate for execution remaining lines. Okay, so only partial lines will execute in case if it throws any exception. And this is a very important point we have to consider it when we are working for a project, when you are building an application, right? I think that's all about these methods what is available inside the string. Okay, in case if you like the video, you can subscribe the channel for more subsequent updates. And thanks for watching and thanks for your time. Thank you so much.